So my husband and I got married in 2013, and we had been friends since high school, and we were so excited to be getting married and sharing our lives together. And part of our dream was, of course, having children, and so we were hoping that after our first year that we'd be able to get pregnant, and we wanted to spend the first year together, just the two of us. And so we waited. We did start trying in 2014 and in 2015 and in 2016, and we actually struggled with what's called subfertility for about 5 years. We didn't really expect, I don't think anybody does, we didn't expect to have problems with conceiving, and we felt like we had honored the Lord with our marriage and before our marriage, and we felt like we would be blessed with a baby. And so we didn't really understand why it was happening to us. You expect every month, this is going to be the month, and then every month your heart kind of gets broken again, and that was our story. We didn't really look into any kind of fertility treatments or anything in that first couple of years, and in our lives we had I had a career change, and so we moved from Raleigh to Charlotte to Asheville. It was the first time that I remember talking to a doctor about infertility and our struggle, and so we talked through some medical reasons why it could be a possibility. There really wasn't anything specific. They weren't finding any issues in blood work other than some thyroid stuff, and so we were just kind of left with a lot of questions. We didn't really understand what was going on, and we eventually found a doctor that would do a fertility procedure for us, and so we tried that. And that's when we had our first miscarriage. Finding out that we were pregnant for the very first time, and then having a loss so quickly, we really struggled with that. We were wondering, well, where is God in this? If He allowed us to conceive through this method, where is God in this? And we were upset with God. We were, trying to figure out why us? Why are we losing this baby that we haven't even had the chance to get to know? And I remember just falling to the floor and praying when they told us that it was looking like it was a non-viable pregnancy. I just fell to the floor in the bathroom and was just praying, God, you can take this and you can make this a miracle, and you can rewrite this story here. You can change this. And I believe that, and I do believe that if it was His will, He would have done that. But we didn't get that miracle that we were praying for in that. And so we ended up moving back to Raleigh just through work. Somebody had told me about this kind of birth center where they had some connections around town to doctors' offices who could help with fertility issues and things like that. So I called them, and they directed me to this to our doctor. It was honestly the most amazing appointment I'd ever had with a doctor. We spent 2 hours together, and she listened to everything I had to say about my body and what we were struggling with, what we had been through. And at the end of that meeting, she told us, well, I'm 90% sure that you have something called endometriosis. And I was 37 years old. No doctor had ever brought this up. And we ended up I had surgery a few months later for that, and about 7 weeks after that, I got pregnant. Isabel was born on June 12th, 2019. And she has been the absolute biggest blessing of our entire lives, next to Chad and I getting married. And we're just so grateful to have her. And through her pregnancy, I felt like we always had reminders of God's faithfulness. I remember just seeing her ultrasounds and her movements and the way that she moved around and would look side to side in her first couple of ultrasounds, and just kind of giving us total comfort and peace, knowing God was knitting her together in my womb and that everything was fine. It was 36 hours of labor, and I wouldn't change a single minute of it. And she was born, and we got to hold her in our arms and just see, like, He's faithful. He did it. When when we thought that he wouldn't, he did it. When we questioned, when we questioned, is this what we're called to? Is God calling us to be parents? Is this what he wants for us? He did it. And it was just such a beautiful reminder of his faithfulness, because he did it, but he did it in his timing. We have this beautiful little reminder of his faithfulness running around every day, thank God. And she's just, she brings so much joy to our lives and to everybody's lives of people who know her. It's just incredible. And I don't want this to sound like a story of everything is perfect. They lived happily ever after, everything was great. We still struggle with what's called subfertility. And that's something that's really hard for us. We've had 4 pregnancy losses since Isabel was born, and but we know that God is faithful. We believe, and we're believing him for another child, maybe 2. We know that if it's his will, he'll do it.